Hello, Riko's Roughnecks. It is I, Riko Travis, and we're here today to start a brand new episodic thing that's going to be released every Friday where we talk political. Now, I told myself I didn't want to do this, but given the circumstances and the way things are going this year, I've got no other choice but to do something with my channel. So every Friday, we're going to be talking political stuff. Anything and all things political is going to be relegated to Fridays and Fridays only. Everything else will be free and open stuff where I talk about other things. Maybe even do a music segment and a science segment. I'm excited for that. I can't wait to talk to you about science. And I can't wait to talk to you about music. And hell, I might even throw art in there. Throw art and music on the same day, perhaps. Do something where I talk about art, and a thing where I talk about music, and a day where I talk solely about science. But today, we're going to talk about the Trump agenda. Oh no, what am I going to do? It's the Trump agenda. Oh, no. There is nothing to fear here, people. I'm here to explain it to you and give you my opinions. Now, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I kind of agree with some of the things that I've read. I've already read this several times already. There's already been several videos out there on this, so I'm just gonna throw out my own opinion from a furry who is probably gonna get shut down because I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm allowed to talk about, but I will do my best to try to ride the line. So here we go. So claimed building on their incredible achievements of Donald J. Trump's first term office. We don't need to read the first part about it. We'll just go down the list of all the things he has planned for jobs. Jobs. Create 10 million new jobs in 10 months. Awesome. Make it happen. Create 1 million new small businesses. I feel bad for a lot of these small businesses because a lot of them have been shut down, not just due to the whole virus thing, but also due to the rioting and looting that's going on. Cut taxes to boost take-home pay and keep jobs in America. Now, I read somewhere else that some crazy Democrat lady was saying that this is the worst thing Trump could possibly do. How dare he? It's racist. And I'm like to myself, why? What's so racist about people making more money and bringing more money home to take care of their families? They've got wives, they've got kids. Some might not have kids, but people have bills to pay. People have very expensive health care and sometimes even expensive upkeep, health, housing, taxes and all that. Expand opportunity zones. Great, let's make that happen. I know a few towns and cities where I live that desperately need opportunity zones. Continue the regulatory agenda for energy independence. Now that one, on the other hand, I don't exactly know what that could possibly mean. Does that mean make it easier for energy companies to compete with one another to make the best clean energy, or does that mean removing regulations that keep the earth clean? That will have to be a little bit that will have to be expanded upon. So we'll just wait and see on that one. If it has something to do with energy companies competing with one another to make the cleanest and least expensive energy out there, then yeah, exactly. That's what I would hope. Let's scroll down to eradicate COVID-19. Who could disagree with this? Develop a vaccine by the end of 2020. As long as the vaccine is safe, has no side effects, has minimal or no side effects, non-lethal of course, and it has to work of course. I mean, turn to normal in 2021. You know, at this point, I have to say normal is kind of overrated at this point, but I would like to have some sense of normalcy. Just have some sort of routine that has nothing to do with going crazy on the streets or, double tornado hurricanes. I mean, talks of aliens and stuff. Make all critical medicines and supplies health for healthcare workers in the United States. Awesome, make it happen. Refill stockpiles and prepare for future pandemics. Yes, of course. Who can disagree with this? End our reliance on China. Bring back 1 million manufacturing jobs from China. Tax credits for companies that do so, that bring the jobs back from China, and allow 100% expensing deductions for essential industries like pharmaceuticals and robotics who bring back their manufacturing to the United States. No federal contracts for companies who outsource to China. Awesome. Hold China fully accountable for allowing the virus to spread around the world. Now, I don't know how you could do that, considering it's a different country. They got different rules. Maybe that involves heavy sanctions on them, imposing tariffs and all that. But I don't know if we'll ever see China being brought to justice for not being able to contain the virus in the first place. I don't think we'll ever see that, but if we do, that would be awesome. But everything else on that list, awesome, make it happen. Healthcare, cut down prescription drug prices. Yes and also no at the same time, because I live in a state where there's a certain type of medication known as opioids, and let's just say our state just so happens to be having a problem with it, and our governor has done nothing to do to stop it. Has done nothing to stop it. Put patients and doctors back in charge of the healthcare system. Yes. Patients should be allowed to decide what should be covered. But also they should also be given the appropriate care that they need to get back to normal, to back to health. And I've heard some people say that maybe we should make it so that they are limited based on what, like if it was something against their control. Like, let's see what. Hold on. I'll get something. My goddamn eyes. Let's go back. Lower healthcare insurance premiums. Of course, make it cheaper, make it easier to get. In surprise billing. Yes, I think we should have an expected time to pay the bill. Cover all pre-existing conditions, of course. Protect Social Security and Medicare. Yes, definitely. Protect our veterans and provide world-class healthcare and services. Yes. Who can disagree with this so far? What part of this is bad? Let me pause right here and ask you people on the left, what part of this is bad so far? Now, I've explained some things that I might be hesitant on and kind of disagree with, but for the most part, there's nothing on here so far that I don't completely and not 100% against kind of deal. Education, provide health school choices for every child in America, yes, but also make it cheaper to get to any school that you choose, basically. Cut down the cost of sending your child to school. I don't think necessarily making it free is going to help anything. Teach American exceptionalism. I guess as long as that implies that we're teaching our kids to love our country instead of hate it, to understand that our country isn't necessarily perfect, but it's trying to do something to make itself be better than the day it was before, as long as they're being taught that America is constantly trying to improve itself, and not say America's the best damn country that ever was and ever will be kind of thing. As long as it's nothing like that, as long as they're telling the honest to God, honest truth, that's fine. Honest to God, if you believe in Him, but I don't. But whatever. Drain the swamp. Pass congressional term limits. Yes. End bureaucratic government bullying of U.S. citizens and small businesses. Yes. Expose Washington's money trail and delegate powers back to the people and states. Yes. Drain the globalist swamp by taking on international organizations that hurt American citizens. Yes. Defend our police, fully fund and hire more police and law enforcement officers. As long as we don't get to a point where there's as many police officers as there are in the military or something crazy like that, as long as we're not militarizing our police. The fact is yes, I agree that we should have police officers, and yes, we should hire more, but I think we should hire more capable police officers. I think if he added the words capable police and law enforcement officers to that sentence, I would wholeheartedly agree with it. That's one that I am a little bit hesitant to say yes or no on, but if they added the word capable right here, more capable police and law enforcement officers, that would be excellent. Increase in criminal penalties for assaults and on law enforcement officers. I mean, what is the current criminal penalties for assaulting a law enforcement officer? Isn't the minimum 20 years or something like that? I think it's fine the way it is currently. Prosecute drive-by shootings as acts of domestic terrorism. Again, that also depends on what kind of, like, what's the current how many years do you have to go to jail for a drive-by if you got caught doing it? Because that is murder, and that's fleeing the crime scene and all that. Bring violent extremist groups like Antifa to justice. Yes, I mean, they're out there on their streets burning and killing and looting and all that stuff, and they should definitely end cashless bail and keep dangerous criminals locked up until trial, as long as they are absolutely 100% dangerous criminals and not some bloke on the street who may have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, not wrong place, wrong time, but some bloke who he didn't do anything too crazy. He just he screwed up, got into a car accident, and got somebody hurt, but not killed, but hurt. And they don't overcharge someone. End illegal immigration and protect American workers. Yeah. Block illegal immigrants from becoming eligible for taxpayer-funded welfare, healthcare, and free college tuition. Absolutely. Come into the country illegally, you should be allowed to have these things, but if you cross the border without going through the necessary hoops and hurdles or whatever to get here. But I also believe that we should make it a little bit easier to get into the United States. I don't exactly know what the current conditions to get into the United States are currently. I don't know. I haven't looked into that kind of stuff, but I think, honestly, in my opinion, make it easier to get into the country legally, and decrease the incentive to cross over illegally. Definitely. Mandatory deportation for non-citizen gang members. Dismantle human trafficking network. Come on, let's get a hold on to this stuff. People are these things are happening. This right here, that is one of the big things out there that we need to be very worried about. And we, a lot of people, young kids my age, have turned a blind eye to what happens when we have fully open borders. Nobody's watching them every second. Dismantle in sanctuary cities and restore our neighborhoods and protect our families. Yes. Prohibit American companies from replacing United States citizens with lower cost foreign workers. Yeah. I mean, or just force it so that they have to pay them the same wages as an American citizen, so that you decrease the incentive to hire people that come into the country illegally. Prohibit American companies from. Okay, we already read that. Require new immigrants to be able to support themselves financially. Yeah, yeah. I think they should be able to hold a job. They should have. Honestly, what they could do for a program like this to work is to allow a new immigrant to go into some sort of immigrant workers program where they get kind of fast track them to getting a job. As long as they're making it easier for them to get a job while transitioning over to the United States legally, of course. Innovate for the future. Launch Space Force. Establish permanent man presence on the moon and send the first man mission to Mars. Make it happen. That's all I gotta say on that one. Is make it happen. I want to live to see a person land on Mars. I want this thing to be as big as the landing on the moon. Build the world's greatest infrastructure system. Yeah, of course. Who can disagree with that? Make it hard for the electrical system to go out. Win the race to 5G and establish a blah blah blah. Alright. Alright. You can you can read the rest of this right here. There's right here. All these things I can agree with. There's things that I would like some clarification on, but that is Trump's 2021 election agenda. Some of these things I want to see elaborated on. Some of these things I want to see happen. This right here alone should open your eyes a little bit. What has what's Biden's 2021 agenda? Does anybody know? I might do a video on that next week. But for now, like, share, comment in the comment sections below, hit that bell button, and we'll see you next time. This was Political Talk with Riko Travis, signing off.